Now, SiriusXM presents a Father's Day special with our very own father-daughter duo, Peter and Natalie Noone. Together, sharing music and memories of the 60s and more on SiriusXM 60s on 6.
Hello, I'm Peter Noone, Herman of Herman's Hermits, and you're listening to a Father's Day special with me and Natalie Noone on 60s on 6, SiriusXM.
I'm Natalie Noone, and yes, he is my dad, my day-old dad, and we both have shows here on 60s on 6, and someone up on the satellite suggested we do a Father's Day show, and we are delighted.
Let's start it off with one of my songs, Herman's Hermits, I'm Into Something Good. Happy Father's Day, Natalie.
Yeah. Happy Father's Day, Pops.
Hello again, this is Peter Noone, Herman from Herman's Hermits on Father's Day. And I'm Peter Noone, and this is...
Natalie Noone, his daughter.
Lovely daughter. Hey, this lovely daughter got to sing along with her dad, Frank Sinatra. She was Nancy Sinatra. Did you ever sing with your dad?
Do you remember? Yes, and I had to sing very loudly because my father has a rather overpowering voice and persona.
God on your bird. Yeah, I did learn to sing, and they kicked me out of the school choir from that.
No kidding.
Here's Nancy Sinatra and Frank Sinatra, Something Stupid.
Hello, I'm Natalie Noone, and I'm here with my pops, my dear old dad.
Hello.
I think that's his mom's voice, but he's here. His name's Peter Noone. And I still have the same name as my dad, for now at least, Noone, spelled like no one. And he taught me how to play For No One by the Beatles on the piano as some of the first chords I ever wrote, telling me it was written for us. But
It's not for no one, it's for Noone.
yeah,
That's what I said, but the truth is it's not for Noone, it's for no one.
it's a beautiful song, so we'd like for you to listen to it.
Beatles. Hello, this is Peter Noone and
Natalie Noone.
we're doing Father's Day special on 60s on 6 Sirius XM. And you know, before I became a dad, Natalie, when you had just a little blink in your mother's eye, a twinkle, something in your mother's eye anyway, before I became a dad, I used to be a drinking competition person with Eric Burdon from the Animals, and of course that was replaced by singing competitions and me doing over 100 concerts a year. And Eric is a family treasure, isn't he? You like Eric.
Oh, I love Eric Burdon. And I guarantee you didn't win. You're rewriting history, aren't you?
Actually, I did win many times, but I would win, and I told his wife, Mariana, that I would beat him, and I had a bit of an amends to make because I would leave him underneath the table in the nightclub. And he said, and Marianne said, I can't believe you beat him up. And he goes, Peter, I lived upstairs from that nightclub. So you used to leave me, and I used to just crawl upstairs to my bed. And that's true. Family treasure, Eric Burdon.
A real family treasure, since he used to sleep on my grandmother's couch to recover before I even knew he existed.
Exactly, before you even knew you existed, and I didn't know you existed. But is Eric Burdon, your favourite song by Eric Burdon, right?
My absolute favourite song by old Uncle Eric, To Love Somebody. I'm... Stop. I'm Natalie Noone. You're listening to 60s on 6. I moved to Nashville to discover the soul of country music because my father had been talking about it my entire childhood, and he happens to also do a fantastic Johnny Cash impersonation. Oh,
Hi,
here he is now.
Hi, my name is Johnny Cash.
Nothing like him.
I think it's fantastic because it makes me giggle, and if you can make your daughter laugh, I think that's a pretty good deal. Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire.
Fire.
Hello, this is Peter Noone.
And I'm Natalie Noone, his daughter.
And you're listening to a Father's Day special with me and Natalie. Or should I say, Natalie and I. And you know, Natalie, I grew up loving and knowing Jerry Marsden from Jerry and the Pacemakers. I knew them when they were called Jerry Marsden and the Mars Bars. And they had to change the name. This was before they knew they would need pacemakers.
I happen to know that you used to love Mars bars.
I do Mars bars, and I happen to know that you used to love Jerry Marston as well.
I did. I loved him. He had such a great smile. I was drawn to him as a kid.
Yeah, and the great songs. And hey, he gave me my first break. My first big gig concert was with Jerry and the Pacemakers and Billy J. Kramer, and I was called Pete Novak. And Jerry met me at the stage door and said, "Oh, Pete, let me show you to your dressing room." And we walked down the corridors, and he opened the door, and it was the men's room. He put me in the men's room. And, hey, listen, let's play one of his great records, just one of them. I think he wrote this one as well, which is pretty fantastic. And it's called Ferry Across the Mersey, Jerry and the Pacemakers.
Hello, I'm Natalie Noone. You're listening to 60s on 6, and I'm here with my dear old dad, Peter Noone.
Dear old dad.
It's quite the experience sharing a show with him. He's rather excitable.
He's not that old. He's just a young lad for me.
So, in an attempt to keep it together, we're going to play For Your Love, Yardbirds, because when I was a kid growing up, I would see him sing it on stage, and I always thought it was by him and only by him he did it that great.
Hey, our Peter did it first. They recorded it before the Yardbirds.
Which I did not know, Grandma. And so now we're going to hear the cover of Herman's Hermits For Your Love by Yardbirds.
Play mine.
I'm Natalie Noone. You're listening to 60s on 6. I'm here with my dear old dad, Peter Noone, Herman of Herman's Hermits. And you can only imagine the childhood I had with the great music and the excitable personality that he is, as I mentioned earlier. I never know what he's going to do. And as a kid, when I was a kid, I loved Sam Cooke. And we have this thing we do with each other. Yeah. Like that. Bring it on home.
Bit better than that, usually.
Yeah.
Bring it on home, Sam Cooke.
Hello, it's Peter Noone and
Natalie Noone.
we sitting here having loads of laughs, doing a Father's Day special, and I shouldn't really be laughing because I am a father, and I've been doing hundreds. Yes, hundreds.
I told you 1,000,000 times, don't bloody exaggerate, Peter Noone.
I've been doing lots of Father's Day cameos, yeah. Peter Noone, cameo.com/Peter Noone. And this one used to be a wedding song. So maybe people want to remind their dads about his wedding day. You've got one coming up, Natalie. What would you choose?
Yes, I do have one coming up. And as my Uncle Gino would say, you lying. But I think I'll choose There's a Kind of Hush by you, Dad.
Oh, There's a Kind of Hush by Herman's Hermits. Hello, this is Peter Noone, Herman from Herman's Hermits, and I'm sitting here with
Natalie Noone, his daughter.
her, and we're doing a Father's Day special, and we're having lots of laughs, and, Natalie's got a show. What time is your show on 60s on 6?
Well, you know that, but I'll say it again. It's on Sundays, 5 to 8 Pacific time or 8 to 11 Eastern time.
I just wanted you to say it so I could hear it said, because I listen every week. I listen to Tommy James because I got the app, and then I listen to you, and I think both of you should play this version of this Sonny Bono song. This one's by The Searchers, and it's called Needles and Pins.
I'm Natalie Noone. You're listening to 60s on 6, and I'm here with my dad, who taught me to love all of this music.
And your grandma.
I don't know what grandmother's doing here, but she keeps popping up. Because he will not be controlled. And thank heavens for that, because I grew up in a house full of wonderful music, and River Deep, Mountain High, Ike and Tina Turner would go on very loudly, and I would pretend to be Tina Turner to my parents' great amusement. Here it is, River Deep, Mountain High.
Hello, it's Peter Noone and Natalie Noone.
Hello.
And we're doing a Father's Day special, having lots of laugh. And I was telling Natalie, I'm from Manchester, England, and lots of good groups were from Manchester. You know, there was a group called Oasis who were named after a nightclub in Manchester, and the Hollies, who got their name from Buddy Holly and the Crickets, and Freddie and the Dreamers, who got their name from Freddie and the Dreamers.
And Herman's Hermits.
And Herman's Hermits, I almost forgot them. They were my favourite. I bought all their records. I've got 3 copies of all their records. But anyway, the Hollies were from Manchester with Wayne Fontana and the Mindbenders and Freddie and the Dreamers and lots, and Billy J. Kramer's Dakotas were from Manchester. And let's play the Hollies. It's a perfect song about Manchester because it's about a bus stop. And as you probably don't know, Natalie, in Manchester, it's the rainiest part of the whole of England. So this is kind of a song about Manchester, Bus Stop by the Hollies. Well, we just did the Hollies Bus Stop, and we're in the rainy mode now, and I know you've got a favourite Motown song. What is your favourite Motown song?
I absolutely do. Temptations, I Wish It Would Rain.
You know, that is one of my favourites too, but I've never actually said I wish it would rain until I moved to California a few years ago. And now I wish it was rain. So let's hear the Temptations, who also wish it would rain. Hello, it's Peter Noone, Herman from Herman's Hermits, and I'm sitting here doing a Father's Day special with my lovely daughter, Natalie Noone. Say hello, Natalie.
Hello, everyone. It's a bloody miracle if we get through this.
A bloody miracle. It's a bloody miracle.
He's good at miracles. He does miracles all the time, our Peter.
I'd like to remind you, all you listeners, that Natalie is half French, half English, but all American. How come we speak French at home?
We speak French at home because maman, my mother, is French, and my father is British and has a lovely British accent when speaking French, so we prefer to hear him speak that way.
Je suis anglais.
Yes.
Où sont les toilettes?
It's so charming, isn't it?
Absolutely, it breaks hearts.
Bless his little heart.
Thank you. Let's play something French. Tous les garçons et les filles de mon âge.
Françoise Hardy.
Hello, it's Peter Noone, and that was Connie Francis, I Will Wait For You. And you know, my lovely daughter, Natalie, has also recorded I Will Wait For You, a completely 60s vibe all over it. Shall we listen to it? I'd love to hear it on the radio. Wouldn't
So
you?
would I.
Yeah. Here's Natalie Noone, I Will Wait For You.
I'm Natalie Noone. You're listening to 60s on 6, and I'm here with my dear old dad playing some of our favorite 60s songs. And
That's right.
I knew he wanted to do something. I could feel it. Like he's coming in with something right now. So
Give me some space, as all great improvisational work is. Leave the man some space to butt in.
yes, indeed, his life is a theater. So when I was a child growing up, he would play country music all of the time, and everyone is shocked to hear that. But as a British boy growing up in England, he was very moved and inspired by what was happening in America at the time. And I was very inspired by his affection for American music, being the only American in my family. So naturally, I heard a lot of Nashville music. This one takes the cake. She's Got You, Patsy Cline.
Hello, this is Peter Noone.
And I'm Natalie Noone, his daughter.
And I'm here, Dad.
Yeah.
It's Father's Day, so we've been playing lots of 60s music on 60s on 6, having lots of fun listening to all the songs again. Lots of great songs, weren't there, Natalie?
Yeah, it's been an absolute giggle fest.
What should we finish with? Should we do some song that we played together when we were little?
When we were little,
When you were little and I was just skinny.
forever young, Father.
Forever young.
Well, I think we should play A Wider Shade of Pale, Procol Harum. Tell them why.
Because it's a song it's a piece of music that we played to get together when you were very small, and it was I think it represents the 60s better than almost anything. Pet Sounds and Procol Harum in the 60s, magical.
Absolutely, I agree. And I grew up with this song as the immersion song that my father would sit me down and tell me to listen to. So it evokes a lot of different feelings for me, and I'm sure for you too, Dad, right?
Happy Father's Day, everybody.
It was too emotional. He had to run. Run, Father, run.
Run! Get out of here!
Happy Father's Day, everyone.
Happy Father's Day.
Listen to this Father's Day special with Peter and Natalie Noone again whenever you want with the SiriusXM app. Free for most subscribers. Download it today and start listening outside the car.